Good morning, everyone. So it is the weekend, it's Saturday, so I'm very excited, and it's the long weekend as well. So gonna have lots of time for language learning, app development, all kinds of stuff this weekend. And today we're gonna be talking about one of my favorite little things that I make when I'm studying a language, my activity tracking sheets. This was a very popular topic from my book and from the series I did about Polyglot's Journey. So today, you and I, we're gonna make one of those together for my Chinese studies. So right now I'm gonna head over to Stanza, another coffee shop that I love, and my train just arrived, so I'm gonna run. I'll see you in a minute. Hello, so I just arrived at Cole and Carl Street on the N, which I got from over at DeBus Park, and just look how gorgeous San Francisco is. I just love being always surrounded by those hills. So this is a coffee shop called Wooden Cafe, and then right there's like a really nice little crepe place I like, really awesome little brunch spot. But again, I just love it. You know, you look that way and there's this like amazing sort of cathedral over there. You look this way and it's just, there's like, God, look at that sky, look at the hills. So people complain about the San Francisco fog and the sort of cloudiness, but I think it just produces these phenomenal dramatic scenes that are just so special to me. My darling, I love you, 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 I love you. Okay, so here we are at Stanza Coffee. You know, I really love this coffee shop. There's a big old workspace right next to the window. They have Wi-Fi, so it's great for what we're doing today, which is making one of my very own language tracking sheets together. So basically what a tracking sheet is it's a way for us to visually represent all of our activities, our progress in a foreign language, in a way that's really simple, but it has so many really cool benefits that I'm going to share with you today. But first, let's talk about what you'll need to make your own tracking sheet. First, you're going to need, it's very simple, a highlighter, preferably yellow or any color you want. You'll need a black pen and squared paper, and that is it. It's very simple, very cheap, and that's one of the reasons why I love it. Okay, so how it works is first you're going to make a list of all the activities that you're currently doing or that you plan to do in your foreign language. This could be a book course, like Asim Will Teach Yourself. It could be an app, like Babbel, Duolingo, Mondly. It could be a novel you want to read. It could be a movie you want to watch. It could be song lyrics that you want to learn. Anything you plan to do in your foreign language, make a list on a separate piece of paper. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to think about what is sort of the content of that activity. If it's an application, it's easy. You have a bunch of lessons, right? So one number could be one lesson, lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If it's a book, it could be every number is a chapter, right? But not necessarily, because chapters can be long and they can also vary a lot. And so, for example, maybe what you would like to do is every number equals 10 pages, right? So that's it's a number that's easy to quantify, it's reliable. So a number doesn't have to correspond to like a chapter. If you're watching a movie in your foreign language, what I like to do is every number represents 5 minutes or 10 minutes. The main point is that we're going to be listing our activities and breaking them down into like a quantifiable visual representation that we can then track over time. And then, so all you're going to do now that you have all your activities listed, now that you've thought about a little bit how you might break that down, is on your square paper, just write each activity down. I like to use a nice big bold heading. And then what I'll do is I'll write down the breakdown. So if I'm going to be doing my course where I just did Chinese Pod, there were 30 lessons. So I'll write down 30 numbers, like each one having one box to itself. And then I'll go to the next activity. Maybe, again, writing a novel, whatever it is, write down those numbers underneath. And I'm going to show you plenty of examples in this video. And basically, the way it works is simply every time you complete an activity, it's very much like a checklist or a to-do list. You highlight that box in yellow. Okay, so here we are. So the tracking sheet is finished, and actually it only took me about 30 minutes maximum. We'll kind of go over step by step and you'll see what's on there. So at the very top, we have Chinese pod. So as you guys know, I've been going through that very slowly, because remember the whole theme of this series is that I have a very busy life right now, and so I've been going through this like 15 minutes, 30 minutes a day, sometimes more, sometimes less. So it's taken me quite a while to get through those. And so right now I'm up to about lesson 24, so very excited to highlight those in a second. Underneath that, you'll see I have Mondly, which is a language learning application that I decided I'm going to try. Now, we'll talk in the next episode about my philosophy of reviewing content often and from different contexts and different resources. So I love to learn the same thing at least 2 or 3 times, but using different resources, and it really helps me to get a strong foundation. So we'll discuss that more next time, but you'll see I have pretty much the whole Mondly lesson catalog here. I might go through and color these sort of boxes in light blue because I like presentation. It might look nice, and it will separate the lesson name from the numbers. And then you'll notice at the bottom I have music. So I have 3 songs so far. I'm like slowly looking for new Chinese songs I like, that I can learn the lyrics, learn to sing them, and play them on the guitar maybe. So I have 3 songs. And here you'll notice that I actually put letters instead of numbers. So V means vocab, T means translation, and P means play. So the idea is that first I'll learn the vocabulary, then I'll translate the lyrics into English, and then I'll actually learn to play and sing the song. So I think that's really, really fun. And maybe I'll do a whole video all about the benefits of singing and learning songs in foreign language. And then very lastly, on the bottom right, you'll notice this series called Say It Right, which is a series on Chinese pod. And basically, it's a whole series of videos, 22 episodes, and it's a really, really deep dive into Chinese pronunciation, tones, intonation. But one thing that is interesting is that I have actually spent 0 time so far formally studying the tones. And I think this is really interesting because a lot of you will know that pronunciation is certainly one of my sort of specialties. It's one of my strong areas, and I love to develop a very accurate pronunciation in different languages. But with Chinese, I'm not starting with the tones. And I think lots of people who I've known over the years who did learn Chinese, and as far as I know, like in university, if you take Chinese classes, I've often heard people say the very first thing you do is sit there going through the tones. Ma, 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 like this whole thing. And in my opinion, and this is just based off of my sort of intuition as a language learning expert, I think that's the wrong approach, because you have 0 context for the language. None of the words that you're learning the tones through mean anything to you. And obviously tones are not black and white. Even I can already gather that there are certain tonal changes, and if you have 2 tones one after the other, it's not just black or white. Here are 4 tones, master them, and off to the races. I think that this is something that takes time. So in my case, I wanted to actually go through this whole Chinese pod all the way to intermediate catalog before going through the tones. However, I've been really trying hard to be accurate with my pronunciation. I've really done a lot of repetition, and I am trying to say things correctly. I'm just not studying tones in a vacuum, basically. And so we can talk more about that as well. And that's pretty much it. So I'm really excited. So the last thing we're going to do in this episode is we're just going to talk a little bit about why I love these tracking sheets and why I think that you should give it a try. Okay, so the first reason why I really love these tracking sheets is just their sheer simplicity. I mean, this thing literally is a piece of paper. All you need is square paper, even a pencil and a highlighter. That's pretty much it. Like I said, I might use a coloring pencil and add a bit of blue or something, but it's so simple, so cheap. Most people probably can find the resources to create this. So I really like that. The second thing is that it's very rewarding. So I think a lot of us are familiar with the to-do list and how it's so satisfying to sort of cross items off a to-do list. And I know myself, I'll do something that was not on my to-do list, and then I'll actually add it to the list because it feels so good to sort of cross it off. And it feels the exact same way. So right now, I've already gone through 24 lessons of Chinese pods. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this here with you guys. So Oh my god, it feels so good. So look at that. I love it. I'll try to like see if you can see that. So it feels really good to cross things off. Now, the next thing is, this is amazing for your motivation. Now you might wonder, how is this simple piece of paper so useful for motivation? Well, many people when learning a language, one of the things they struggle with is they feel they're not making progress. Sometimes it's very easy to feel like, I haven't learned anything, I haven't gotten any better. The good thing about this is it actually makes progress tangible. Because if you take photographs of this once per week, that's what I do, every week you'll have a photograph and you'll be able to see the progress. And so at any time you can come here, and if you feel like you're not making progress, your tracking sheet will tell you the truth. You'll see, oh wow, actually I went through 5 levels of Mondly, or it's a really great way to stay motivated because you can see your progress in a visual and tangible way. And then the very last thing is that this will make it much easier for me to maintain my Chinese later. Because if my Chinese gets rusty, maybe I stop studying it, maybe I forget a lot of stuff. If I decide I want to start learning Chinese again, it can be very difficult if you don't have a record of the things you did, the things you knew, right? And starting from scratch is daunting. However, with this, I have a beautiful documented catalog of all the things I ever did in Chinese, and so it'll be very easy to go back and regain that knowledge. So that's it. Those are my little language tracking sheets. I love them. I think they're very valuable. And please, 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 if you decide to try it, which I think you should, leave me a comment, send me an email at robin@kumabrand.com, whatever you like, and let me know how you like it. So I'll see you in episode 3. Yeah.
Missing someone.